I had several different communities, and that was one of my struggles because I felt I would be judged by one community, and while I'm trying to minister to another, it's like it
Oh
was so
yeah.
confusing at that time.
Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rock Your Brand podcast. I'm your host, Scott Voker, a serial entrepreneur on a mission to help you. This show is designed to teach you, to inspire you, to motivate you to take massive action and build a future-proof business. So, whether you're just starting out or taking your existing business to the next level, this is your home. Now, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's rock your brand. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Brand podcast. This is episode 921, and today I've got another amazing guest that I can't wait to share with you. And, I met Sal in Puerto Rico in a mastermind, and, you're going to hear how this mastermind really just kind of like reshifted his thinking. Now, he is and was a very successful broker that sold online businesses, mainly e-commerce. But he came to this event, this Puerto Rico mastermind that I'm a part of, they're really to just network with people and potentially, maybe sell someone's business or maybe have the opportunity to discuss their business. And it turned into way more than that. Also, you're going to hear how this whole pandemic really altered his life and shook his family, things I didn't even know about until we got on here. And, you're going to hear how he's really trying to figure out what is the next move. How can he repair some things that have happened in his life as he went down this entrepreneurial journey? And you're going to hear some deep stuff from Sal, but also you're going to hear about a brand new product that he's been developing and how he's really working on a balance of family, entrepreneurship, and just really what is he supposed to be working on. And, I'm going to let him dig into everything, but that's just a really quick snapshot of what we went into in this interview. But I do believe that just listening to someone be open and honest, transparent, vulnerable, it just allows you to see that no matter where you are in your journey, you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have things that don't go always as planned. I mean, heck, 2020 has been a crazy year. No one could have predicted this, but it happened. And now we have to adjust, or now we have to decide what's our next move. So I want you to really listen to my conversation that I had with Sal and just really try to understand that this can happen to all of us, but we also can have a positive mindset and we can always be moving forward. Now, before we do jump into that, the time of this recording, we are heading into a new year, 2021. And I wanted to remind you, if you would like to be part of our Brand Creators Academy, our accelerator group of really highly motivated entrepreneurs, brand builders, looking to really grow and expand their business in 2021. And if you're interested in joining us and really taking your business to the next level in 2021, all you need to do is head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA. And there you'll see all about Brand Creators Academy, our community, but also you'll see that you can apply there. And once you do, we'll let you know either way if you're a good fit right now to join Brand Creators Academy. We're only opening it up to a small group of people, but it is by application only. So if you're interested, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA. All right, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview that I have with my good friend, Sal. All right, Sal, welcome to the podcast. My man, how are you doing? I'm excited to have you.
I am so excited, Scott, to be here. You look great. I love you. I'm a follower and a fan. So it's an honor to be here. And I'm really looking forward to adding value. So
you will. You will.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick your brain today.
Amazing. That's going to be great.
All right, cool, man. Well, hey, you and I, we got to spend some time together. We were actually, spending some time in Puerto Rico. And, we were at Puerto Rico Masterminds, and it was amazing. And again, that was one relationship I met from going to a mastermind, right? It's like,
Right.
you know, it's just one of those things that a lot of people don't understand. And it doesn't mean you have to go to a paid mastermind. It just means getting around similar people, or people that have, you know, same kind of mindset, or at least they have the same type of direction that they want to go. And I know for you, it was an eye-opening experience just to kind of be in that, and it kind of opened your whole world up to something completely new.
Yes, it really blew my mind. I had no clue that when I went there, Scott, to be completely honest, my whole mission was to get deals. You know, I was a broker. I sold businesses, online businesses. So I went to the mastermind, you know, paid and got in, and really just to seek out potential clients. Little did I know that I'd be introduced to this whole new world of branding and coaching and entrepreneurship, and meeting the most amazing people in the world that have changed my whole life. The whole way I look at the world has changed dramatically. Now, the number one problem that I've had since I had that awakening is learning the technology, you know, and learning how to implement, because I'm a strategist, you know, I'm not a tech guy. So my whole thing is, you know, building businesses to sell them at the highest valuation possible, but I don't get involved with the, you know, seller accounts and the shipping and the back, you know, all the back end stuff. So, and then teaching in courses, that whole thing was something that I felt that I could add value to. So when I learned a lot in that mastermind was my processes, my product, you know, and I started really looking into my life and to my experience. And then I found out for the first time that I had a lot of value that I could add to people. And I never thought about that, you know, and I had friends there that would tell me, man, your stories, you know, you got to tell your story. You got to share this to the world. So it's changed my life completely. Okay. Completely. Just one mastermind. One mastermind event.
It did. You know, the one conversation that you and I had, and I hope you're cool with me sharing it. It was you basically saying that you were more or less kind of like a stay-at-home dad for a little while.
Yeah.
And you loved it, but you also felt like, I want to be the man, right? I want to be the guy leading the charge. And I related to that because you and I were very similar in that aspect that, you know, I was in construction with my father's company. I was the breadwinner at the time. Then we started a photography business. My wife was the photographer. I was just the guy making the kids laugh in the background. So on the W-2, it said Scott makes funny faces to get paid. Right. And she was the front, like she was the leader. She was the one that people were coming for. Yes, they were coming for me because I was the one there. We were a team, but I still felt like I was taking a back seat. And I felt almost less of a man, to be honest with you.
It is. It's a very hard experience. For me, it's a little bit more extreme because my wife is a gastroenterologist, a hepatologist. She's a specialist in medicine, and all her peers are very wealthy and very prominent people. And I felt like inferior, and I'm carrying the baby, but at the same time, it was good for me because I was never like that, you know? So it was a process where it was humbling, but it gave me time to learn to be a servant, you know, and to serve. And I did that for like 10 years, no secular work, just, you know, I was a pastor for about 7 years. While I was taking care of my wife. But, you know, saying you're with doctors and business people and what do you do? Well, I'm a pastor and I take care of the baby. It's hard, dude. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, no. And when you were telling me that story, I'm like, I know that you don't feel it, but man, you played a huge role in those kids, you know what I mean? And your wife in supporting. And it's like, but you still, it's ego a little bit, right? It's like, you got a little bit of that. You're like, but it's not the same, man.
It's the ego. And not only that, I mean, to be completely honest, when the person's making money, they have the power to make decisions, you know, and it gets complicated, you know, because they have the money, And so they feel like, you know, even if the man is the one making the money, he's like, I know where I want to invest it. And so it's kind of weird, you know, and I come from a business background, right? I just had a life-changing experience, you know, so I kind of stepped into the, you know, pastoring and stuff, but I still had that business in me, you know, and the old man, the macho guy, right?
The macho guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I was crazy in university, and, you know, I was just like any old kid out there.
Yeah. So I think, you know, you and I connected there on a personal level because we kind of had something similar there. You know what I mean? Like we both felt it was great at the time. At the time I was like, you know what? Let's start this photography thing. I don't care if you want to be the head of it. I don't care. I just want to get out of this grind. Right. And then I did. And then you kind of get into that. And then you're like, now I'm starting to feel this thing. It's kind of tugging me. And I had conversations with my wife about it and stuff. And I wanted to have more of my own role. And you know what I mean? Like I wanted to have my specialty. And that's where I kind of fell into marketing, because then I was kind of like the marketing for the business. She didn't want to do the marketing. She just wanted to take the pictures. I wanted to do the marketing. So it kind of worked out. And here we are, you know, how many years later, and I'm on a,
how many years later? How many years?
We started our business is over 19 years ago.
Wow. Wonderful.
We've been married 26, and we started our business. We started it in 19 years ago. We went full time probably 17 years ago.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, we built it.
Congratulations, by the way. And that's one of the reasons why I admire you greatly. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of marketers, a lot of business, you know, entrepreneurs that are flashing cars and flashing buildings. And I love the way that you're always with your daughter and the horses and your dad. I admire that greatly. That's why I feel a lot of affinity towards you.
And you know, it's hard though, you know, Sal,
oh my God, it's so hard.
It's hard because, you know, it's not that I want to flash that stuff, but you start looking at like, well, these people have not even that stuff, but let's just say like followers or something. You get caught up in like, oh, I need more followers for like, you know, the vanity number. And, you know, once I started to even like, I would say 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, I started seeing myself starting to get concerned with that. And then I'm like, wait a minute here, time out. What the hell am I doing here? Like I can serve 1,000 people really well.
Yes.
Like it doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands, you know, you've probably read the blog post, you know, your true 1,000 fans. It's so true. Just serve the small group and you'll do just
right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm learning all about that. My problem was in the beginning when I learned about, you know, social media through the mastermind and my potential to deliver content that's valuable and how to deliver it to a community. You know, I had several different communities, and that was one of my struggles because I felt I would be judged by one community, and while I'm trying to minister to another, you know, it's like, it was so confusing at that time. But, you know, everything has been working out, and I'm really excited about the future. A lot of great things have happened, but it's been so much learning. I've been learning and learning and learning. I've had to learn how to create content. You know, I've had to learn how to brand and how to get prototypes and how to, you know, I've had to learn everything from scratch.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because you got a pretty neat little product that you've been working on. I've been watching the process, and I want to talk about that. But I also wanted to kind of dive into, because we didn't even touch on this. I just want people to understand you've sold some pretty large businesses doing your brokering. So like, let's not gloss over that. Right. Like, you know, Sal was, you know, stay-at-home dad and a pastor and, you know, for 10 years. And what does he know? He's sold some pretty big ass businesses.
Well, I've always been in sales, right? My father invented the PVC pipe. So in the 60s, him and his brothers invented PVC. And I was in factories and all my life, and we had distribution centers, and you know, so I was raised in this environment of business and entrepreneurship. My dad and his brothers launched many types of products, from chairs, tables, kayaks, everything.
Wow.
You know, and around 2003, with globalization, it all came down with China imports and just the It was like a 50% drop in price, and we couldn't compete. So that's basically wiped out manufacturing, but we still have a small operation still going. And but yeah, I've always been in business and I've always been in sales, and I love people and I love to serve people. So it was easy for me to, Rick Latona is a great friend of mine. I've known him for many years. He was one of the first to move to Puerto Rico for the Act 20 tax exemptions, So he offered me the job to broker, and it was amazing. I learned so much, and for me, it was all about connecting and providing service and being honest. I love being honest because I feel like it's so important to tell the truth to the seller, because false expectations, it's terrible. I feel terrible when I can't supply what I offer, Yeah. So for me, the honesty and helping people really prepare their business was something that I really felt passionate about. And it's easy for me. It's easy. I look at a company and I can see easily where they can improve. It's because I've evaluated hundreds of different types of businesses, and I've seen all their platforms and all their marketing strategies, and I've seen how they scale, and I've seen them dump. So having that experience of evaluating businesses and really digging into them, and it's helped me greatly to be able to help people easily, right?
Yeah. So let's dig into that real quick. Let's talk about so what do you see businesses missing out on the most when you're looking at, is there something that comes to mind that you're like, and I see that happen a lot?
Well, this is what I think my whole thing right now is, what I feel very passionate about is building the business that is going to make you the most profit when you sell, Okay. You're going to be, the thing is, and it's not easy, but you have to have this in mind. You're going to spend time, 4, 5, 6 years building a business. You might as well decide what kind of business you're going to want to dedicate your time to, because you can be a reseller, right? And then when you're going to sell, you're only going to get a multiple of 1 or a 1.5 of net profit. So do you need me to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, you can a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're reselling products of other brands on a third-party platform, you have no branding. There's really no value there for that.
Would that be like wholesale?
Yeah, it's wholesale, but a lot of people do it in different scales,
Okay.
It's like, yeah. So it's just, you're spending a lot of time building something that you can't really cash out. It's not a wealth building strategy.
Gotcha.
Okay. So then there's the other one where, private label, which is also good if you do the branding well. I think that's where a lot of people are missing out on the branding and engagement and social media and trying to, they're just sticking to Amazon a lot. And because it's hard, I think, to do that,
Sure.
to do the branding, for them to figure out how to get that engagement and that relationship built in on a product that they may not even love. They were just selling on Amazon. Do you understand? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. So private label, I mean, you can get a multiple of 3 or 5 if you're going high, right? And then there's other ones like patent products. You can get a higher multiple if they're scaling and they got potential or whatever. But when you're looking at subscription and a combination, what I tried to do with this product, I said, okay, so this product, it can probably be copied, but I know it's a great product and I know that I can do a lot of things with it and I can sell it. But how can I have more income streams, right? So I just figured, okay, let's do courses, right? And I'm going to do the Aqualine exercise system. And that's another income stream on top of the product. And then I'm probably going to do the launch pad, which is explaining the whole process. And those are like 3 different income streams from one product, that I think it's good. So I'm looking at the business. We want to build a business that you can sell at the highest multiple possible. And that would, you're taking the same time, the same kind of effort. It may be harder in the beginning because it is very hard in the beginning to improve products. But I think that's something that you guys and a lot of people can do, because I saw my wife do it. And I'd like to share about that a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so innovation, it's so important, and there's so much potential to innovate and create products and improve them. A lot of people, we're looking at the world and we don't think we can fix things. For some reason, we're just not with that mindset, right? And I think because I was raised in a family where they were doing it all the time, I had that kind of thing going on in my mind. So I really believe that if I can spark people to look at the world differently and see how they can improve and even, recreate products that have been the same for hundreds of years.
Right. Right.
There's so much stuff out there, man. And it's just not the product itself. It's the colors, it's the design, it's making it cooler, it's changing something. And I just believe that if people know that they can do that and you can help them do that, I think it's really cool. And that has a lot of value. And you can see it like in different products in Shark Tank. You can see that, they had this one bala, it's just a weight wrist, but they did it like in rows and all these cute colors. So now they're selling millions, and it's just a change in colors.
Yeah.
And branding.
And branding. And, like you said, I think also sometimes the mission behind it and like all of the story and
the story,
and all of that stuff. Well, let's talk about that then. So, and again, I don't want to skip over this part though, but so just give us an idea of some businesses, and you don't have to give away like the business itself, but like kind of what size businesses have you actually been involved with that have actually went to close?
Oh, right now I got 2 closing for 20 million, both of them. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I got a supplement closing 20 million, supposed to be closing before December. And then I got one that's got 2 million in escrow, and it's also for like 22 million.
Jeez.
But I thought I was going to sell 100 million this year, Scott.
Yeah.
My goal, I had a pipeline. I had a huge pipeline. Okay. And I remember March 3rd, man, I was on a yacht. We were going to close. I was closing 2 big deals. March was going to be huge. And man, then the coronavirus came, bro. Both were canceled. I was in the lockdown and everything changed, man. And I got injured, And so I was actually just crying, like suffering because of the injury and the pain. And that's how I got into the water and invented this product.
So let's back up. We gotta unpack.
It's like weird.
we got to unpack this, man. So you have 2 deals ready to close. You're on a yacht, sipping a nice little drink, looking at the ocean.
I was entertaining friends from, that come in. I love to entertain friends, and I do exchanges with the yacht. So I really don't end up paying for it. It's just listen, it's like great exchanges.
Yeah. That sounds great. So you do that, and then you find out that, we get the coronavirus, and then the lockdown and all that. What happens psychologically to you at that point? And then we'll talk about the injury, but let's talk about the psychological side of things.
It was devastating. It was devastating for me because I had made a lot of money. I sold like 30 million the year before, but I made a couple of mistakes. I invested in some things. I don't even want to talk about it because it's terrible. But I did do some things but I didn't have more money. I went through it in a very stupid. It wasn't stupid. It just made some mistakes. Yeah. But the thing is, that took me to another level. See, every time I get into like a position of desperation, that's where we thrive, man. That's where we thrive. Like I knew I had to get out. I knew I needed to look for options, right? And pivot, That's what we needed to do. how can I serve people? How can I, and I got a couple offers. Like I was going to work with a couple of people that I love in shipping. And that was a great deal. I even reached out to you about shipping a little bit. Yep. And, I had offers to work, but just that the closings weren't happening, and then my wife's office, who's a gastroenterologist, also got shut down. So all the income, and then I had two houses, and one was rented out and the guy left. So I had one paying, it was like $3,000 a month, plus the one I was renting was $3,000 a month. And my bills are like $20,000 a month, man. So it was like, wait a second. And so I immediately left the rental and went back to my house. And I don't care about downsizing. I don't care about failure. I'm not a guy that feels you should feel like a loser or anything when I learned humility, it's like, it's not emotional. It is what it is. If you have to downsize, you downsize. It's all strategy. It's all part of business, and it's all part of life. So one of the things that I like to share to people is don't feel bad if you fail, if you have to cut back, if you have to, right now I'm going to buy a really inexpensive, I had to sell my watch to pay for the molds that are coming. So, and I love it,
man. I like it. It's like, you know what? You got to get dirty. You got to get dirty.
You have to. And it's hard. It's passionate. It affects the family. But you have to do what you have to do. You have to be willing to go for it if you have the vision, right? And so it's been.
And again, hard. How much of it is like happiness too, right? Like it's like, because there's this stress level. Like you're at this part, and I think I told you guys this. I think I don't know if you were there for this, but like last year was a great year for us, but it was also one of the highest stressful years for me because of everything I took on. Wrote a book, did a full Airbnb renovation, and bought that property, and had my Brand Accelerator live event, and we just cranking, right, like on all fronts. And I ended up getting the shingles twice.
Yes,
man.
Well, for me,
my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I mean, I can't, for my story isn't a positive story. My story is devastating. Right now I'm separated, because of this. I've been so involved in my business and obsessed on it that I forgot, about a lot of things, my daughters and all my children, and I was just focused, and a different type of person popped up, like nobody could stop me. I just felt like I was on a mission. And of course, now I'm like trying to step back and recuperate, and because they're the most important people in my life. But at some points, we feel like this is the most important thing for all of our lives. I do this for my family, Right. And I wanted it to be a family business. It's what I do it for, So sometimes I think wives can get confused when you see your husband like working 24/7. Oh, he loves his work. Well, he's actually probably working for you, and, a lot of times they can feel like we're not. But I can't wait to demonstrate my gratitude and my love as I hopefully become successful in this venture,
Well, and again, I mean,
like I just want to be honest, Scott.
You're not on here, painting this perfect little pretty story.
No, right? It's a hardcore. Yeah.
I mean, you've been through some stuff. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily. I mean, well, definitely with the whole 2020, but then on a personal level, and then everything else that you've been through. So
just put yourself in my wife's position. She's a doctor, she's a gastroenterologist. She's hyper focused on the bacteria and on the virus, right? And I couldn't deal with that intensity because I'm not really focused on the bacteria. So we were like having these clashes at the house because of I touched this or I did that. And so it was kind of like hard, and I needed to do pictures, and I wanted to create the product, and she needed this, and we were like at a war, and it's wrong, but it just happened. But I feel that we're learning now, we're communicating, and we're learning from this. It's not going to be a failure. It's going to be a success, because it's going to be a success. My commitment is to her. I'm not looking for anybody else. She is my wife. I love her and I love my children. So yeah, I'm not available or anything like that.
No, that's good. That's good to know, Sal. That's good to know. But I've seen your wife too. Very, very attractive woman. Yeah. So you shouldn't be looking anywhere else, right?
No, I'm definitely not.
Yeah. Nice looking family too.
Thank you. And they're my treasures.
I mean, yeah, honestly. And you know what? I can see how it could get away from us on a business front. Like, it's addicting in a sense, Sal.
Yeah.
Like, business can be addicting in a sense. And, I guess, and I think Gary Vee had said this. I'm not a huge Gary Vee guy, right? But he said it pretty well when he said, I don't want to win. Because if I won, I wouldn't want to do it anymore. Right. It's like the climb is what we're doing. It's like the growth of the climb and the learning from the climb, because if you get it, then what do you do next? You got to find another mountain to climb. But there is that balance. There is a balance.
There is a balance. And that's why I seek people like you. And I'm glad that you brought this up, because I admired your family. Like my family is beautiful too. And my dogs, I love I'm like hurting, right? So how do we continue during times of pain? How do you continue moving forward has been a very big challenge for me. But I have to continue because it's for the family, and I feel like, for me, I'm trying my best to make the right decisions. Right. So that's where I'm at. And I'm pretty excited because I'm sure that everything's going to work out at the end.
So, and I believe it will too, Sal. I mean, to me, I think you're pretty level-headed, you're sensible, smart guy. And I know that you love your family and, that will come first.
That will.
But again, it's going to be a process.
It's going to
be a process, just like anything else in life. And we're going to look back at this and we're going to learn from it. So let's move into, the product side of things. How does this product even become an idea?
Wow. So I'm sitting there, I'm in the pool. I got a very bad injury in the hip and I went into the water.
How did the injury happen? Can you tell us that?
Well, the first day of the lockdown, I was just like millions of others, wanted to get back into shape. So I started doing burpees and push-ups. And then my daughter wanted to play volleyball. And when I went to pick up the volleyball, something happened right in my hip, the sciatic nerve. It was a terrible pain and excruciating. I couldn't go to the hospital, so about 2 days later, I said, well, let me get back into the pool because I can do the exercises because this has happened to me before. Okay. So when I did the exercises that I usually do in the gym, in the water, I was like, wow, this is amazing because I'm an Olympic swimmer. I went to the Olympics in 1988. I swam all my life, but I never looked at the water as the therapeutic value of the water. So when I got in and I used the same exercises, but I was using the resistance of the water and, resistance going up and resistance coming down.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Brand podcast. This is episode 921. And today I've got another amazing guest I can't wait to share with you. And I met Sal in Puerto Rico in a mastermind. And cool. You're going to hear how this mastermind really just kind of like reshifted his thinking. Now he is and was a very successful broker that sold online businesses, mainly e-commerce. But he came to this event, this Puerto Rico mastermind that I'm a part of. They're really to just network with people and potentially, maybe sell someone's business. or maybe have the opportunity to discuss their business.
Curiosity.
It turned into way more than
I'm
that.
trying to
also,
solve a problem.
You're going to hear how this whole pandemic really altered his life and shook his family, things I didn't even know about until we got on here. And well, you're going to hear how he's really trying to figure out what is the next move. How can he repair some things that have happened in his life as he went down this entrepreneurial journey.
I knew I had a product.
And you're going to hear some deep stuff from Sal, but also you're going to hear about a brand new product that he's been developing and how he's really working on a balance of family, entrepreneurship, and just really,
if you would have seen the first designs, they were crazy.
And, well, I'm going to let him dig into everything, but that's just a really quick snapshot of what we went into in this interview. But I do believe that just listening to someone be open, honest, transparent, vulnerable.
So this
it just allows you to see that no matter where you are in your journey, you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have things that don't go always as planned. I was
going to say,
I mean, heck, 2020 has been a crazy year. No one could have predicted this, but it happened.
It goes up to 75
pounds. We have to adjust, or now we have to decide what's our next move.
But it's got.
So I want you to really listen to my conversation that I had with Sal and just really try to understand that this can happen for all of us, but we also can have a positive mindset and we can always be moving forward. So now, before we do jump into that, the time of this recording, we are heading into a new year, 2021. And I wanted to remind you, if you would like to be part of our Brand Creators Academy, our accelerator group of really highly motivated entrepreneurs, brand builders, looking to really grow and expand their business in 2021. And if you're interested in joining us and really taking your business to the next level in 2021, all you need to do is head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA, and there you'll see all about Brand Creators Academy, our community, but also you'll see that you can apply there. And once you do, we'll let you know either way if you're a good fit right now to join Brand Creators Academy. We're only opening it up to a small group of people, but it is by application only. So if you're interested, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA. All right, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview that I have with my good friend, Sal.
Coming soon. And it looks pretty cool.
All right, so there you have it. I mean, hey, there's nothing sugar-coated there.
Data,
Sal is really telling you and telling all of us and sharing with me
during the
just some of those hard struggles along the way. Had some really big highs and some really, really big lows.
And everything.
How do you get through that stuff? How do you stay motivated?
Finally, I got a team, and
I believe it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are going to be there to support you and help you and encourage you.
I think content
also let you know that you're not alone. And I do believe that Sal has done that. He's surrounded himself with some really amazing people, and that came from that mastermind. What I'd like to do for you, if you're interested, is I'd like you to be able to join us inside of Brand Creators Academy, which we have people that are supporting each other every single day. But the important thing here is like-minded people. People that have the same vision moving forward of where they want to go.
If you wanted to do,
if you're interested in investing in Bitcoin, probably not the best group for you. Now, I'm not saying that there's not some of our brand creators that aren't investing in Bitcoin, but I'm saying is that's not our goal. That is not our vision for where we're going. We're building
not just the disruptive
businesses,
you know what I mean?
Brands that will allow us to live the life of freedom, the life that we want to live.
From there, once you get
someone, if you want support like that, if you want accountability partners, if you want training specifically designed to help you grow and expand your business, your brand, well, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA. You really won't find a better group, in my opinion, of people that are motivated, that are willing to help and support, and just share with each other. And I think that's where the magic really happens.
Right?
So again, if you're interested, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA for all the details. I want to thank Sal once again for being open and honest and sharing because I know that this is gonna have an effect
what I'm
on
hearing
other
then
people.
is, okay,
maybe
you've got this
yourself
product.
that's listening, going like, man,
when should it be ready
2020
to
was
be
hard.
like offered? And
Man, I'm gonna get through this.
Pre-sale
and
this
you know
week.
what? You will.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Cool.
So once again, I want to thank
Pre-sale.
Sal for doing that.
The
All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap up this episode. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you, and I am rooting for you.
So
but you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now let's rock your brand.
To be able to deliver 2,000 units, hopefully in December. I would love to do that. That's my goal. I don't think that was my goal in November, but here I am, it's December and the molds aren't here. So this is such a struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because every day it's like, I got to launch
Mm-hmm.
because of the cash flow,
Yep.
And it's a game, and you're playing with funds and with your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and that is the tough part though with physical products, right? It's like if you're just recreating a digital product, there's really nothing other than if you hired videographers,
Mm-hmm.
But pretty much that digital product you can create, without really going in, doing the molds and doing all that stuff. But if you can get that to work, which you're almost there, well, then you have something tangible that you could bolt a digital thing onto, which you're going to with the videos.
That's what I'm doing.
Training,
yeah.
And all of
that.
We
were going to do the digital product first because there's a lot of exercises that don't require the prod, but I would have been promoting other tools. And I figured I better not do that right now. I'd rather start with the pod and then add other tools.
Yeah. And I think to your point, like having the, having this product, but then having like, even if you offered like one free workout routine with it, or maybe even a 5-day routine or something, but then of course that's only going to take people so far. And then you've got, a little membership or something where you can have monthly, or trainers or something like that.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking about doing. I want to do a therapeutic life, strength training program. It's a life for fitness program. I really believe that there's a lot of people 50, 60, 70, 80 that need therapeutic training. I believe that this tool plus other tools that we're developing and exercises are going to make them stronger. The most important part about the product is it's a strength building tool. It's to do repetitions. It's not to play around. It's hard. Yeah, I was with the big wave surfer this weekend, and he couldn't put it down. He couldn't bring it down when it was empty. We had to put about a half of water so he could do the exercises.
Wow.
So I'm able to do it because I've been already doing it for a while. So when I showed him how I did it, he's like, oh no, he's bigger, stronger. Really. And now I'm going to do it. And then he was like, and so wait, let me add some water. So we made the tool, and so there's a smaller one coming, but we did this because I wanted to send it to pro athletes and get that pro athlete to have him challenged, right? Because if I made the small one first, it would never go pro. Because they would think it's another aqua aerobic tool, I was like, this is pro. I want you to try it. And then we'll do the soft stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's my thinking. That's my thinking behind it.
I think definitely hitting the 50, 60, 70 plus is definitely a good market. Cause as you hit that threshold, and especially people that have had injuries, do stuff like that, to me is like, I mean, I could even see something like that possibly being even brought into like a not a personal trainer, but that too, but rehabilitation.
For therapy.
Yeah.
You have a pool in your backyard. I'll send you one. You have a pool in your backyard. It's the best place to train. I wear tennis shoes. I run in the pool. I wear I have Brooks, right? And I use them when I run in the pool, and it's very refreshing. And I also use the pods to get strong. And it's an amazing, it's an amazing environment for training, because you don't have the impact, Scott, on your legs. All right. No more impact on your knees, on your hip, your lower back. You'll be able to do squats. If your pool has an area that's 4 feet or 3.5 feet, you can do squats there with 100 pounds and not injure yourself, because you'll be sustained by the viscosity of the water. And this is all what I'm going to be teaching. And you can, it just gives you security. So it's like you when you do the squat, you're just bouncing. It's just like, it's so wonderful. It's the best way to train. I think it's the future of training. And, even for your dad and your mom to get in, it's refreshing. It strengthens their bones. It strengthens their body. It's for a life. It's therapeutic life training.
So my only question to you then is, what happens for people that they have a pool, but it's cold?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So that's where the out of pool probably comes into play.
Yeah, they have the heaters. Heaters are great. They're like $1,800. And I mean, and I know this is not for the mass market, but a lot of people have pools. But the outside exercises is for the mass market,
Yeah.
But the therapeutic training is for therapeutic training. It's, it's for people that can go to the YMCA and train.
And bring their pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's light. It weighs 4 pounds empty.
Okay.
And so it's portable. And you can take it to the beach and use it. That's where we're going to be filming next. People using it on the beach. Nice. It's good for this, time of the coronavirus, because the gyms are difficult. So our slogan right now is "Make the world your gym." Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, man, you're busy.
Busy, but never
the life busy. Back on track, getting the business up and running.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So what's the next move, I guess? What's your next move? Where are we going from here?
So from here, we're just, waiting. Rick called me a while ago, told me he had an update on one of the closings. So hopefully something went through. That would be great, because then I'd fund the rest of what I need to get done to get this moving forward. But basically my goal right now is to focus on getting back to my family and at the same time launching the business. I think I get an I'm trying to make it automated, where I'm not really that involved. So I have a team, before I tried to outsource everything, and that was very costly. And I just figured, why don't I just hire locally? And I put an ad on Facebook and found great talent. And and so I have a team, and they're all, one of them, we got systems, we're developing systems, so I don't even have to look at the post that we put on Instagram or anything. And so so it's running, I'm just gonna make it run, so then I can focus on my family and also other products that I want to create that are coming.
It's always a balance, man. Always a balance, right? It's always a balance. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on and sharing all of the things that are happening and really the struggles, really, I think is the big thing that I think people, but I also hear a lot of positivity in your thoughts and in your tone. So I know that you're going to figure it out, but I think this product definitely could be something great. And I know if anyone's going to make it happen, it's going to be you. I mean, look at you. You went from some bottles cut apart and duct taped together with a ball, and then here we got this nice.
Let me tell you, Scott. During a pandemic, we got a new product, a $2 million valuation. I got somebody interested in buying 5% for $100,000. And I'm not totally convinced, because if I launch this week, this pre-sale, I might not need that money.
Yeah.
So out of nothing, $2 million valuation is pretty good.
Yeah.
And,
that's not too bad. That's not too bad
during a global pandemic, And I'm really, I'm really excited to share my story. And so I really appreciate you bringing me on, because you're the first one to hear a little bit about it. I tried to be as honest as possible. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. We make mistakes, but if you have the heart and the commitment and the grit, you're all in, then you're an entrepreneur, man, and that's and we got to be careful,
you
got to be careful.
Got to be careful, man.
But I'm one of you guys, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So Sal, how can people hear more from you?
Well, I have the Facebook group. You can go to Aqualine. There you'll see about the Aqualine. We're also doing something called the e-commerce launch pad. That should come out after I launch.
Okay.
But yeah, Sal Vasayo, just look for me. I'm around.
I'll link everything up. I'll link everything up in the show notes, get some links from you and stuff. But yeah, follow along on the Aqualine. So you guys can check that out. And then I know that you're going to be kind of showing some behind the scenes stuff as far as like, what's happening, what's working, what's not working, and all that fun stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I'll get you all the links, and I thank you so much for sharing, for giving me the opportunity. I think it's wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, man. Like I said, you and I think hit it right off when we got to hang out together on that boat, and here we are a couple of years later. Things have changed for sure, but we're gonna definitely wanted to highlight that for you.
We're gonna have a family gathering soon. My family and your family will meet somewhere and have some fun.
That sounds amazing. We'll definitely do that. That does sound amazing. Yeah.
All right.
Because we got to get to Puerto Rico. We got to get back to Puerto Rico.
Maybe here. Yeah. I got some beautiful houses that we can get. Yeah. And the yacht and everything. All right.
All right, man. We're coming. All right, Sal, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll be in touch. All right.
All right. Take care. Say hi to everybody.
All right. So there you have it. I mean, hey, there's nothing sugar-coated there. Sal is really telling you and telling all of us and sharing with me just some of those hard struggles along the way. Had some really big highs and some really, really big lows. How do you get through that stuff? How do you stay motivated? Well, I believe it's surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are going to be there to support you and help you and encourage you, but also let you know that you're not alone. And I do believe that Sal has done that. He's surrounded himself with some really amazing people, and that came from that mastermind. What I'd like to do for you, if you're interested, is I'd like you to be able to join us inside of Brand Creators Academy, which we have people that are supporting each other every single day. But the important thing here is like-minded people that have the same vision moving forward of where they want to go. If you're interested in investing in Bitcoin, probably not the best group for you. Now, I'm not saying that there's not some of our brand creators that aren't investing in Bitcoin. What I'm saying is that's not our goal. That is not our vision for where we're going. We're building businesses and brands that will allow us to live the life of freedom, the life that we want to live. So if you want support like that, if you want accountability partners, if you want training specifically designed to help you grow and expand your business and your brand, well, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA. You really won't find a better group, in my opinion, of people that are motivated, that are willing to help and support and just share with each other. And I think that's where the magic really happens. So again, if you're interested, head on over to brandcreators.com/BCA for all the details. I want to thank Sal once again for being open and honest and sharing, because I know that this is gonna have an effect on other people, maybe yourself that's listening, going like, man, 2020 was hard, but man, I'm gonna get through this. And you know what? You will. All right. So once again, I want to thank Sal for doing that. All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap up this episode. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day.
And I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now let's rock your brand.